In this video, I'm going to do a step-by-step beginner tutorial on how to trade crypto futures on Apex Protocol. Apex Protocol is a decentralized futures trading platform based on the order book model. You can connect a hot wallet to the DEX, and you can go long and short on various different cryptocurrencies using stablecoin pairings such as USDC and Tether. This DEX looks and feels just like a centralized exchange and is backed by the team at Bybit. In this video, I'll show you how to connect a wallet to the platform, and then I'll show you how to transfer assets onto the DEX. After that, I'll get you familiar with the user interface, and then I'll show you how to adjust your leverage. From there, I'll demonstrate going long and short using market orders, limit orders, and how to set up some take profits and stop losses. Then I'll show you where to find the different trading fees and how to transfer assets off of the DEX and back into your wallet. All of that and more with some tips and tricks along the way. If this is your first time navigating to Apex Protocol, I left you a verified link in the description of this video as well as in the pinned comment down below. If you use that link when connecting your wallet for the first time, you're going to save 5% on all your trading fees anytime you go to use this DEX. You'll also be supporting my channel at no extra cost to you. This video is not financial advice. This video is for educational purposes only. Always do your own research before ever using a decentralized exchange, including Apex Protocol. I also left you some timestamps in the description of this video, so at any point, feel free to skip ahead to a section that might be most relevant to you. Aside from that, don't forget to leave me a like and hit subscribe for future content. Let's get into the video. If you click on my link in the description of this video or in the pinned comment down below, you'll be redirected to this page here, which is the user interface for Apex Pro. You can connect your wallet to the platform by simply coming over here and clicking on Connect Wallet. If you choose to navigate to Apex Protocol without using my link, you'll arrive on this page right here. And to get to the user interface, you'd simply click here on Trade Now, or you'd come up here and click on Trade. Just make sure you're on the official website. You don't want to be connecting your wallet to a phishing site or some kind of scam site, as that can result in a serious security breach of your wallet. The link in the description of this video, as well as in the pinned comment down below, is a verified link, and you will be saving 5% on all your trading fees when you're using this platform. To connect your wallet and transfer some funds to the DEX, simply come over here and click where it says Connect Wallet. Alternatively, you can click on Connect Wallet, top right hand side of the page. Then you'll get this pop-up window here, so simply choose the wallet that you wish to connect with. I'll be using MetaMask for this tutorial, so I'm going to go ahead and click right here on MetaMask. Then MetaMask will be dropping down top right hand side of the screen here. Now at the time of recording this video, you'll need to use the Ethereum mainnet when signing to connect your wallet to the platform. After your wallet is connected, you can use a variety of different networks to transfer funds to and from Apex. More on networks shortly. So if your wallet isn't already set to the Ethereum mainnet, Apex will be sending you a request to switch networks. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on Switch Network. Now I've switched the wallet to the Ethereum mainnet. Then in this pop-up window here, you'd click here to send a request to connect your wallet. Now, if you want Apex to remember your wallet, you can leave this toggle to on, but only do that if you're connecting to Apex on a computer that you trust and that no one else has access to. You can always click this button right here to toggle that off. Then the next time you go to trade, Apex will be asking you to connect again. When you're ready to connect, just come down here, click on Send Requests. Then of course your wallet will drop down again, so I'll just come down here and click on Sign. Now I've connected my MetaMask wallet to Apex Pro, and you'll be able to see your wallet address top right hand side of the screen. Mine's behind a little black box. Now we're ready to transfer some funds onto the DEX. To get this done, we'll come up here to our MetaMask wallet and we'll give it a click. Then choose the network that your funds are in. I have some funds on the BNB network, so I'm going to come right over here, top left hand side of the wallet, give this a click, and I'll switch the network to the BNB chain. And I have a tiny amount of stable coins in here, so I'll go ahead and use this network to demonstrate. So I'm going to go ahead and just close the wallet by clicking off to the side here. Now you'll see here that Apex Protocol has detected that I switched my wallet to the BNB network. If you give this icon a click, you can see all the different networks that Apex Protocol supports. So you can use any one of these networks to transfer funds onto the DEX, as well as to withdraw funds from the DEX and back into your wallet. Of course, I'm on the BNB chain. To transfer some funds onto the DEX, just simply come over here on the right hand side and click where it says Deposit. Then you'll get this pop-up window right here. So here's where you can choose the market type that you're going to be trading. Right here, you can choose the network that you're transferring the funds from out of your wallet to the DEX. And then down here, you can choose the asset that you wish to transfer onto the DEX. So if you'd like to trade the USDC pairings, you just leave this set to USDC. But if you want to trade the tether pairings, you'll have to switch this to USDT by clicking right here and then selecting USDT in this drop down. And you can kind of look at this like two different accounts. If you want to trade the USDC pairings, you have to transfer your assets onto the USDC perpetuals. And if you want to trade the tether pairings, you have to transfer your assets to the USDT perpetuals. I'll go ahead and just leave this on USDC for this tutorial. Next, we'll select the chain that we're using inside our wallet to transfer the assets onto the DEX. Of course, my assets are on the Binance chain, so I'll be leaving this set to BNB. But if you were using a different network, you just give this a click and then select the network that you're using inside your wallet. Next, choose the asset that you want to transfer onto the DEX. So in my case here, if I was to transfer Tether into the USDC perpetuals by selecting it like so, Apex is actually going to swap the Tether into USDC, and that's because I'm using the USDC perpetuals. If I was to change this asset over to BNB like so, you can see that the BNB will be swapped into USDC. You'll be able to see your swap rate right here, and you'll be able to see your slippage right here. And if you want to change your slippage, just click on this little arrow, and then you can adjust your slippage with these settings right here. Most of the time, the default setting for slippage is going to work perfectly fine. But for me, I have USDC in my wallet, so I'm going to click right here, select USDC, and then I'll simply choose the amount of USDC I wish to transfer from the wallet and onto the DEX. You'll be able to see your available balance right here, so you can always put in a custom amount that you wish to transfer onto the DEX. And of course, if you want to transfer all of it, just click here on max. And of course, if it's your first time transferring tokens onto the DEX, you will have to enable the token that you wish to transfer. So in my case, that would be enable USDC on Apex Pro. And to get that done, just click right here on enable. Then your wallet will drop down with a spending cap request, and I'm just going to scroll down and click on next. You can see that there will be a small fee when you're enabling a token. And in my case here, that's only about 7 cents worth of BNB. That's perfectly fine with me, so I'm going to scroll down and click on approve. And now that token is approved. So now I'm ready to transfer my assets onto the DEX. So I'm going to go ahead and click right here on confirm deposit. Then I'll come back up here to my wallet. You can see there's going to be a small fee for transferring the assets. And in my case, it's only about 9 cents worth of BNB. Again, that's perfectly fine. So I'm going to come down here and click on confirm. And now my USDC is on its way to the DEX from my MetaMask wallet. And you'll get a little progress bar here showing you how fast your assets are on their way to the platform. And as you can see, my USDC has now arrived on the DEX, and that took less than a minute. Sometimes it happens faster, sometimes it takes a little longer. Depends on the network that you're using, as well as how congested that network is. And here's a quick tip with this. You can often save a lot on gas fees by using a network other than Ethereum. At least at the time of recording, Ethereum is quite expensive when it comes to gas fees. So I prefer to use different networks, like BNB, or you can use a layer 2 like Arbitrum, whatever you decide. You'll find the different market types and pairings if you come right up here and give this a click. So in my case where it says BTC USD. Then you'll get this pop-up window right here, and you can see the market type up at the top and the pairings down below. You can see in my case here that I'm set to USDC. That means all these pairings down below are quoted in USDC. So to trade any of these pairings, I'd have to transfer USDC from my wallet and onto the DEX. If you want to trade the tether pairings, you just click right here where it says USDT. Now the pairings down below are quoted in tether. So you'd have to transfer tether from your wallet and onto the DEX for the USDT perpetuals. So I'm going to go ahead and click here on USDC. From here, you can click on the pairing that you wish to trade, and alternatively, you can search for one in the search bar up above. So if I wanted Ethereum, I'd click right here on ETHUSD. And as you can see, I just changed the pairing to Ethereum versus USD. To get back to Bitcoin, I'll give this a click. And I'll click here on BTC USD. As easy as that. And right here, we have our price action chart showing us the asset's performance over a selected time frame. You'll be able to find your time frames top left-hand side of the chart here. You can see that I'm currently set to a 4-hour time frame. This means that each one of these candlesticks down below represents 4 hours of time. If you'd like to change the time frame that you're viewing, just simply click on the time frame you wish to view. So if we want a daily, we'll click on 1 day. And now I've switched the chart to a daily time frame. Now each one of these candlesticks represents 1 day of time. If you want to find additional time frames, just click on this tiny little arrow here. You'll get a drop down with some additional time frames. If you'd like to add any of these to your favorite time frames or remove a time frame from your favorites, you can highlight or unhighlight the star next to the time frame you wish to view. So for example, let's go ahead and get rid of the monthly here. I'll uncheck the star next to 1 month. Now as you can see, I just got rid of the monthly time frame. Let's go ahead and add the 12-hour by highlighting the star. And just like that, I added the 12-hour time frame to my time frames here at the top left-hand side of the chart. As easy as that. This chart is powered by TradingView. This means you'll have access to some drawing tools as well as some basic indicators from TradingView. You'll find your drawing tools over here on the left-hand side of the chart. If you can't see your drawing tools, just come down here. You'll find a little arrow. You'll notice if I click on this arrow, I can hide the drawing tools. If I click it again, I can reveal the drawing tools. Next to each of these drawing tools is another tiny little arrow. If you click on that, it'll expand into a drop-down menu where you'll find additional drawing tools. If you'd like to build a tab of some of your favorite drawing tools, just highlight the star next to the drawing tool that you wish to add. For example, let's go ahead and do a horizontal line. I'll highlight the star like so. Let's go ahead and do a trend line, just like this. Let's come down here. We'll do a Fibonacci retracement. Then we'll come down here. Let's add a brush. I'll be using that in this tutorial. Let's go ahead and add a rectangle like so. Now you can see I built a little tab of some of my favorite drawing tools, and you can drag it anywhere on the chart that you like. If you'd like to add an indicator to the chart, just come up here and click on the indicators box. Then you'll get this pop-up window with some basic indicators from TradingView. You can scroll through them with the wheel of your mouse like so, and then just left click on the indicator that you wish to add to the chart. Alternatively, if there's a specific indicator you'd like to add, you can search for it in the search bar. So let's go ahead and do the RSI. I can see a result right here, so we'll just go ahead and give it a click. And as you can see, I just added the relative strength index to the bottom of the chart. At any point, if I'd like to get rid of that, I'd just come over here and I'd click on this X. And as you can see, I just got rid of the RSI. As easy as that. If you'd like to adjust the appearance of your chart, you can right click on it and then click on settings in this drop down menu. And here's where you can adjust the appearance of your chart. What I like to do is come down here to appearance and give that a click. Then I like to get rid of the vertical grid lines as well as the horizontal grid lines, as they're just not doing much for my style of trading. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this box next to vertical grid lines. Then I'm going to slide the opacity down to 0, just like so. Do the same thing for horizontals, just like this. And then I like to come up here, click on this box, and select a slightly darker color, just like so. Now as you can see, I just changed the appearance of the chart in the background here. If you want, you can also click here where it says solid, and you can select a gradient. Then you can choose 2 different colors if you wish. So if we click on this box right here, let's go ahead and do a gray. Then if we click on this box here, we'll do a darker color just like so. And as you can see, I just changed the appearance once again. So certainly take some time, come on in here and get this chart looking the way that you like it. At any point, you can always come down here, click on templates, and then click on apply defaults to get the chart back to its default setting. So I'm going to go ahead and just retrace my steps here. We'll make this darker. We'll get rid of these vertical grid lines. Get rid of these horizontal grid lines, just like so. Then we'll come down here and click on OK. And lastly, if you want to get rid of this irritating tab right here, which is used for quick entries by using market orders, you can just simply come right over here, click on this little icon, then come down here and uncheck this box right here that says Display Quick Trading. Now, as you can see, I just got rid of that annoying little box. Now, some people might like using that box, it's perfectly fine, but when I'm placing orders, I prefer just to use the order panel over here on the right-hand side. And right next to the chart is where you'll find your order book. And the order book is showing us where market participants have placed their long orders, their short orders, or their take profits for their positions. And they're doing this by using limit orders, which I'll be demonstrating in this tutorial. On the top side in red, we have what's known as the asks. These are the price points that market participants have placed their short orders or their take profit for their long orders. Down here in green, we have what's known as the bids. These are the price points that market participants have placed their long orders or their take profit for their short orders. In the middle of the order book right here, we have what's known as the mid price. So all the asks up above are higher than the mid price, and all the bids down below are less than the mid price. When a trader comes along and executes a market order, they're matched up with the best available price off the order book, and the trade is executed immediately. And I'll be demonstrating market orders in this tutorial as well. You can see trades happening in real time if you come right up here and click where it says recent trades. And here's all the trades being executed in real time. All the buys are coming in green, so the longs or the take profits on shorts, and all the sells are coming in red. So the short orders or the take profits on the long positions. In the amount column, we can see the size of the trade that went through. And over here under the time column, we can see the time that the successful trade was executed at. When you want to get back to your order book, just come over here and click on order book. And next to the order book, we have our order panel, where we can open long positions and short positions using limit orders, market orders, and if you hover over this little arrow right here, you'll also find conditional market orders as well as conditional limit orders. And I have a separate tutorial on how these order types work. For this tutorial, I'll stick to showing you how limit orders work, market orders, and I'll show you how to set up some take profits and stop losses. But if you want to learn more about conditional orders, certainly check out those videos, and I'll link them in the description down below for anyone that might find that helpful. And right over here above the chart is where you'll find your funding rate. Now, as you can see, at the time of recording, there's a positive funding rate of 0.008%. This means that traders holding long positions are paying that funding rate to traders holding short positions. If you ever see a negative funding rate, that means that traders holding short positions are paying that funding rate to traders holding long positions. And each funding period lasts for 1 hour, and you'll be able to see a countdown timer right here on the right-hand side. So it's always worthwhile to pay attention to the funding rate. When the funding rate gets really high, it can be expensive to hold on to positions. And sometimes you'll see a high funding rate at an inflection point on the market. I would consider a 0.008% funding rate quite low. So this particular funding rate wouldn't be a canary in the coal mine for me. But always keep an eye on the funding rate. You can find your leverage right here. So in my case where it says 2x. And you can change the amount of leverage you're using by simply giving it a click. Then you'll get this pop-up window right here, and you can use this slider bar to adjust your leverage like so, or you can type in a custom amount into this box right here, just like so. Now, at the time of recording, the margin mode on Apex Pro is cross margin. And in a nutshell, this means that Apex is going to use your entire account balance as collateral across all of your positions. So if you get liquidated when you're using cross margin, you will lose your entire account balance. So that's certainly worth consideration. When you're using isolated margin mode, only what you put into the position is used as collateral. But at the time of recording, Apex only offers cross margin. In some cases, cross margin can also prevent you from getting liquidated. For example, if you had two positions open, let's say you had a long position on Ethereum and a long position on Bitcoin. And let's imagine that the Ethereum position is going against you, but your Bitcoin position is running favorably. The Bitcoin position would be offsetting the losses of your Ethereum position in that particular scenario. So in some cases, cross margin can also prevent you from getting liquidated. But the big takeaway, in a nutshell, is when you're using cross margin, your entire account balance is used as collateral across all of those positions. So if you do get liquidated, you're going to lose your entire account balance. Once you choose the amount of leverage you wish to use, you just come down here and click on confirm. Now when we come back up here to the order panel, you can see that I just changed this to 5x leverage. And right down here is where you'll find your maintenance margin. And this is the minimum amount of margin balance required to keep your open positions. So if you were to open a trade and that trade was to go against you, your maintenance margin will begin to increase. If your position starts to go favorably, your maintenance margin will be decreased. Once you run out of maintenance margin, the process of liquidation will begin. So always keep an eye on your maintenance margin. So now that I've selected 5x leverage, this means I can put on position sizes 5 times bigger than my account size. If I was to change that to 10x leverage, that would mean I could put on positions 10 times bigger than my account size. And yes, leverage can maximize your gains. But leverage can also maximize your losses or get you completely liquidated. And I'll talk a little bit more about that as I'm demonstrating trades. First, I'll demonstrate a market order, and these order types are nice and simple. They'll execute immediately at the best available price off of the order book. And to use a market order, just come up here to the top of your order panel and make sure to click on Market. Next, we need to choose the size of the position that we wish to open, and we can do that in this box right here. Now you'll notice that in my case, this box is quoted in BTC, which is the underlying asset that I'm currently trading. If you'd like to toggle this box over to order value, you can click on these arrows right here. Now, as you can see, I just changed this box to order value in USD, and that is my personal preference, but certainly choose a preference that works best for you. Right down here, you'll be able to see your available margin, so you'll know exactly what you're working with when you're opening the position. So you can always type in a custom amount if you wish, so in my case, I could do something like this. And alternatively, you can use this slider bar down below, so if I was to slide this up to 49%, that would put 49% of my available margin into this position. If I slid it up to 100%, that would put 100% of my available margin into the position. For this demonstration, I'll go ahead and just type in 100. Once you have your order size the way that you want it, you'd click here on Buy Long if you're betting on the price to go up, or you'd click here on Sell Short if you're betting on the price to go down. For this demonstration, I'll go ahead and just click right here on Buy Long. Then you'll get an order confirmation pop-up window where you can confirm the details of your order. If everything looks the way that you intended, you just come down here and click on Confirm. And now I immediately opened a long position at the best available price off of the order book. And you'll be able to see your position on the chart in this little box right here. You can also find the details of your position if you come down here and click on the Position tab. And here's where you'll see the details of your position. You'll see the size of your position right here. You'll see your average entry price right here. And right over here is where you'll find your liquidation price. So in my case, that would be way down at 11,082. And that's because I'm only using 5x leverage and I'm only using a small portion of my available margin in this particular trade. You can see over here that my maintenance margin is only at 0.085%, which is 0.44 USDC of my available balance. So I'm not at very much risk of being liquidated in this example. But you will notice that the more leverage that you use and the more of your available account balance that you deploy into other positions, the closer the liquidation price will be to your entry price. So always consider that when you're choosing your leverage, your position sizes, and how many positions you have open. Remember, Apex will be using your entire account balance as collateral across all your positions. So the more positions that you open, the more maintenance margin will be used to keep those positions open, especially if you're using high leverage and any of your trades start going against you. So always keep an eye on your maintenance margin. If your trades start going favorably, that will begin to decrease your maintenance margin to keep your positions open. And right here, you can add a take profit as well as a stop loss. And to do that, we'll just click right here on Add. Then in this pop-up window, we can type in our take profit here. And we can type in a stop loss down below here. So let's just imagine that I'm targeting 65,000. I'll just go ahead and type it in like so. And then down in this box, I can choose how much of the position I wish to close. And I'll just go ahead and click right here on 100%. So if the price of Bitcoin gets up to 65,000, I'll be closing my entire position in a profit. Right down here, you can see that Apex will be estimating what your profit would be if your take profit target got hit. Then down in this box, we can put in our stop loss. And let's just imagine that I want to set my stop loss at 59,999. We just type it in like so. Then of course, we'll choose how much of the position we wish to close if our stop loss gets hit. And for this demonstration, I'll go ahead and just select 100%. So if the price of Bitcoin comes down to 59,999, my stop loss will be hit and I'll be closing my entire position at a loss. Once you have this set up the way that you want it, you'd come down here and click on Confirm. Now I've added a take profit as well as a stop loss. And if we come back up here to the chart, we can see the stop loss marked out by this box right here. And we can see the take profit marked out by this box right here. If you want to amend any of these, you can just grab onto the box. Let's go ahead and amend the stop loss. We'll grab onto it, hold down left click, and let's just drag it down a bit, just like so. Then we'll get a confirmation window here to confirm. And I'll just go ahead and click on Confirm. And now I've amended the stop loss down to 59,188. And it works the same for the take profit. So if we just go ahead and grab onto it right here, let's go ahead and drag it up a bit. Then we'll come over here, click on confirm. And you can see I just amended the take profit up to 65,445. And if at any point you want to cancel the take profit and stop loss, you can click on the X inside the little box just like so. Then we'll click on confirm. Now I've removed the stop loss, but we can also get this done if we come down here, click on position, come over here, click on details underneath TPSL, and then we can cancel them by clicking cancel underneath action, or you can just simply click on cancel all. Then click on confirm. And as you can see, I just got rid of the take profit, as easy as that. If you'd like to manually close your position, you can come over here underneath close by, and you have the option to close it as a limit and an option to close it as a market. If you choose limit, you can define a price point that you wish to close the position at, but you'll need the price of the asset to reach that price point before that order will fill and close your position. To use the limit option, just give it a click, and then you type in your close price. So similar to the take profit. So if I wanted to close it at 65,000, I'd just do something like this. And then of course, I would choose the amount of the position I wish to close. You can use the slider bar right here. I'll slide it up to 100%. Then I'd click on confirm. And now I've placed a limit order to close that position at 65,000. And of course, we can see that up in the box right here. If I want to cancel it, I'll just click on this little X. Then I'll click on confirm. And I just removed that limit order. If you want to close the position by market, just come down here, click on positions. Then over here, click on market. Then choose how much of the position you wish to close. You can use the slider bar. I'll just leave that on 100%. Then click on confirm. And as you can see, I just closed that position immediately at the best available price off of the order book. Now I'll show you how you can add your take profit and stop loss while you're opening your position. So to get this done, we'll come back up here to the order panel and we'll click here on market. And this time I'll open a short position betting on the price to go down. So the first step is to choose our position size, and I'll go ahead and just do an order value of 100 again. Next, you'd check one of these boxes. So if you were opening a long position, you'd be checking this box right here that says buy long with TPSL. But in my case, I'm opening a short position, so I'll be checking this box right here. Now we can put in a take profit into this box here and set a stop loss in this box here. So let's quickly head over here to the chart. And let's just imagine that I'm targeting this price action down here. Maybe I think this bull flag right here isn't going to play out and that the price of the asset's going to retrace down to that level. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and grab a horizontal here out of my little drawing tools tab. Let's go ahead and mark the chart, maybe something like this. Now I can see a price point on the y-axis of the chart coming in at 52,434. And let's just imagine that I think the price of Bitcoin is going to pull back to that price point. So I'll go ahead and type that in as my take profit. We'll come over here to this box and we'll type that in. We'll go 52,434.8. Now Apex will be estimating the amount of profit I'd be receiving if this trade was to work out. And now we can set our stop loss in this box here. So let's come back over here to the chart and let's imagine that I want to manage my risk and set a stop loss somewhere just above this wick right here. So once again, I'll grab a horizontal here out of this little tab. Let's go ahead and mark a spot on the chart just above that wick, maybe something like this. Now I can see a price point correlating to that horizontal on the y-axis of the chart, coming in at 64,639. And maybe I want to set my stop loss at that price point. So we'll come back over here to the order panel and I'll type that into stop loss. We'll go 64,639.8. Now Apex will be letting me know how much I'm going to lose if this trade goes against me and hits my stop loss. Now that I have this set up the way that I want it, I'm going to come down here and click on sell short to bet on the price going down. Then we'll get our order confirmation pop-up window. So once again, confirm the details are what you intended. And if they are, just come down here and click on confirm. Now, as you can see, I just opened that short position at the best available price off the order book, and my take profit and stop loss was added immediately. And if we come over here to the chart, we can see all of that going on the chart itself. You can see my position right here in this box. You can see my take profit in this box right here, and my stop loss in this box up above. And of course, if you'd like to cancel them all together, you just come over and click on the X inside this little box if you wish, just like so. There goes the stop loss. Or we can come down here, click on positions, come over here underneath TPSL, click on details, and then of course we can click on cancel underneath action. And just like that, I've removed the take profit as well. If you want to manually close the position, of course you'll find your close options right over here, but you can also close your position by coming up to the chart and clicking on the X next to your position right here like so, and this is going to be a market close. So now we'll click here on confirm, and I just closed that position at the best available price off of the order book. Limit orders give you the ability to be a little bit more strategic when opening your positions by choosing a price point that you wish to enter long or a price point that you wish to open a short position. But you do need the price of the asset to reach your order price before your order will fill and execute into a position. To place a limit order, what we'll do is we'll come up here to the order panel and we'll click here on limit. Next, we need to choose an order price, and this is going to be the price point that we wish to open a position. And I'll demonstrate by placing a limit order to go long first. So let's quickly head on over here to the chart. And let's imagine that I'm viewing this chart through the lens of a bull. I believe that the price of Bitcoin is going to go to a higher price point. But perhaps in the short term, Bitcoin has a little bit of a pullback. We can see it looks a little bit droopy here. So maybe I'm thinking to myself that Bitcoin's going to pull back, perhaps somewhere down around this price action right here, before ultimately moving to a higher price point. So what I'll do is I'll grab a horizontal here from my little drawing tools tab, just like so. I'll go ahead and mark an area on the chart, maybe something like this. I can see in recent price action that it was support right here. You can see price action try to bounce, moving Bitcoin to a higher price point. But then once Bitcoin did break down below that, we find it as resistance in this area right here. So maybe I'm thinking that price action is going to have a small little pullback here and come down and test this horizontal as potential support. And maybe that's where I want to place my limit order to open a long position. So I can see on the y-axis of the chart that there's a price point that's correlating to that horizontal at 64,214. So what I'll do is I'll come over here to the order panel and I'll type that price point into order price. We'll go 64,214. Now I need to choose the size of the order that I wish to place on the order book. And for this demonstration, I'll just use this slider bar and I'll slide this up around 50%. Something like this, good enough for this demonstration. So this is going to put 52% of my available margin into this long order. Now that I've chosen my price point, as well as the size of the order that I wish to place on the order book, I now have the option to choose to add a take profit and stop loss while opening this position. And this is optional. So just like the market order, I can check this box right here, buy long with TPSL. If I was opening a short position, I'd be checking this box over here. Now I can add a take profit in this box and a stop loss down in this box here. So let's head back over here to the chart, and let's just imagine that I'm targeting this breakdown point in the market right here. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and grab another horizontal here out of the drawing tools, and I'll go ahead and mark that out, maybe the candle bodies, just something like this. Now I can see a price point on the y-axis of the chart coming in at 68,939. And for this demonstration, let's imagine that I'm targeting that price point as my take profit for this long position. So I'll come back over here to the take profit box and I'll type that in. We'll go 68,939. Now I'll set my stop loss. So let's head back over here to the chart and let's imagine for the purposes of demonstration that I want to set my stop loss somewhere just below this pivot on the market right here. When I look left, I can see a pretty significant low was put in right here. When the sellers tried to sell the price of the asset off here, the bulls were willing to step in sooner, making a higher low as opposed to back here. So maybe I'm looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, if price action comes down and fills my order right here at this horizontal, this too would be a higher low as opposed to this right here. And this is already a higher low than back here. So if price action was to continue to go against me, getting below this low right here, the structure of the higher lows would be broken. And maybe that would be the signal to me that the sellers are taking over control of this asset, and maybe it would be time for me to cut my losses and get out of the way before I get wrecked. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and grab a horizontal out of this little tab here, and I'll mark a spot on the chart somewhere just below that pivot point. Maybe something like this, just to give it a little bit of room to breathe. Now I can see a price point on the y-axis of the chart coming in at 62,740. And I'll use that price point as my stop loss in this demonstration. So we'll come back over here to stop loss and I'll type that in. We'll go 62,740. The next thing that I like to do is I like to come down here and check this post only box. You'll see when I hover over top of that, it says the post only order will be executed as a maker order. If it can be executed immediately as a taker order, it will be automatically canceled. So when you're using limit orders, you have the ability to save on fees, and that's because you're placing the order onto the order book for all to see. So in other words, you're a market maker by providing liquidity to the order book. And exchanges do like to incentivize traders to provide liquidity to their book, and they'll usually do this by charging a smaller fee for maker orders. When you're using market orders, you're removing liquidity from the order book. This makes you a market taker, and for that convenience, you'll usually pay a higher fee for market orders. So when I'm using limit orders, I like to check the post only box because it ensures that my limit order will fill as a maker order, and if it can't be filled as a maker order, it will be canceled. A lot of the time, limit orders will fill as a maker order, but sometimes they can fill as a taker order. So by checking this box, this makes sure that this will be executed as a maker. So now that I have my limit order set up the way that I want it, I'll come right over here and click on buy long. Then you'll get an order confirmation pop-up window. So if the details are what you intended, you just simply click right here on confirm. And now I've just placed that limit order onto the order book. If we come over here to the chart, we can see that limit order inside this box right here. So if the price of Bitcoin does retrace, coming down to 64,214, this order is going to fill and put me in a long position. And then I'll be looking for price action to bounce back to the upside for this trade idea to be profitable. Once this order fills, my stop loss is going to be immediately added down here at 62,740, and my take profit will be added at 68,939. So if price action comes down, fills my order, but continues to move against me, I'll be stopped out right here at a small loss. If price action comes down, fills my order, bounces and works its way up to 68,939, my take profit will be hit, and I'll be closing this trade in a profit. If at any point you want to amend your order, you can just come over to the box right here on the chart, left click to grab onto it, and then you can move it wherever you want. So let's imagine I want to move it up to this wick right around in here. Now I'm getting a little confirmation window here, so I'm just going to go ahead and click on confirm. Now I've just amended my limit order to 64,519. So if price action reaches my limit order, it's going to fill a little bit higher than I had it before, and the same stop loss will be added and the same take profit will be added. If you'd like to see the details of your limit order, you can come down here and click where it says active. And here's where you'll find the details of your orders on the order book. And you can see my TPSL right here that will be added immediately if this order was to fill. If at any point you want to cancel it altogether, just come over here on the right hand side under action and click on cancel. And just like that, I took that limit order off of the order book. And of course, that would cancel my take profit and stop loss as well. Of course, we can use a limit order to place a short order as well. So to get this done, we'll come back up here to the order panel and we'll click right here on limit. Now we'll choose our order price, and this will be a price point that we wish to place our short order at. So let's head on over here to the chart. And for this demonstration, let's imagine that I want to use this pivot right back here as my area to place an order to go short. Maybe I'm thinking to myself, if Bitcoin manages to get back up to that level, perhaps it's going to reject and move to a lower price. So perhaps I want to try to place an order to open a short position. Now I already have it marked with the horizontal, so I can see a price point on the y-axis of the chart coming in at 68,939. So for the purposes of demonstration, let's imagine that I want to place my order to open a short at that price point. So we'll come back over here to order price and I'll type that in. We'll go 68,939. Next, we'll need to choose the size of our position. I'll just go ahead and use the slider bar and I'll drag it up, something like this, and I'll do 50%. So that's going to put 50% of my available margin into this order. Of course, we have the option of entering our take profit and stop loss while placing this order, and to do that for short positions, we'll just click on this box right here. Now let's head back to the chart, and let's imagine that I want to use this horizontal down here as my take profit if my short order was to fill. I can see a price point correlated to that horizontal coming in at 64,214. So we'll come back over here to the order panel and I'll type that into take profit. We'll go 64,214. Next, I can set my stop loss. So we'll come back over here to the chart and let's imagine that I want to manage my risk just above this wick right here. Maybe I'm thinking to myself, if my order was to fill and price action was to start getting above this wick right here, then maybe it's time to close this position and get out of the way. Maybe that's my signal that this trade idea is wrong and Bitcoin's going to go much higher in price. So what I'll do is I'll grab a horizontal out of this tab right here and I'll mark a spot in the chart just above that wick, something like this. Now I can see a price point on the y-axis of the chart at 69,548. So I'll come back over here and I'll type that into stop loss. We'll go 69,548. Once again, I'll make sure post only is checked. And now that I have this limit order set up the way that I want it, I'll come right over here and click on sell short. Then you'll get your confirmation window, so make sure the details are what you intended. If they are, click on confirm. Now I've placed that limit order to open a short position onto the order book. So if the price of Bitcoin does manage to work its way up, hits my price point up here at 68,939, this order is going to fill and put me in a short position. Then I would want price action to roll over and move down here to my take profit level at 64,214, which will be added immediately if my order was to fill. If price action was to get up there and fill my order, but then just melt through this level to the upside, I'd be stopped out right here in a small loss at 69,548. Of course, you can see the details of your limit order. If you come down here, click on active, and here's where you'll see the details of your limit orders on the order book. If at any point you want to cancel it, just come over here under action and click on cancel. And just like that, I took that limit order off of the order book. To find the trading fees, just come right up here, top left-hand side, and click on the Apex Pro logo. This is going to bring you back to the home page, and you can scroll all the way down to the bottom, just like so. And then underneath About, click right here where it says Apex Pro Getbook. Then on this page here, on the left-hand side, click here where it says Trading Perpetual Contracts. Then come over here and click where it says Trading Fees. And here's where you'll find the trading fees. You can see at the time of recording that maker fees are at 0.02%. So that's if you're placing limit orders. And remember, check the post only box to make sure that those limit orders fill as maker orders. And you can see right here that taker fees are at 0.05%. So that's if you're going to be executing market orders. Now the fees could be different by the time you're watching this video, so it's worthwhile to head on over here and check out what the current trading fees are at. When you're ready to transfer your stablecoins back into your wallet from the DEX, just come right over here on the right hand side and click on withdraw. Then you'll get your withdrawal pop-up window. So if you were trading the USDC perpetuals, you'd leave this box set to USDC. But if you were trading the tether pairings, you'd give this a click and you'd select USDT perpetual in the drop-down window here. I was trading USDC, so I'll be leaving it as it is. Next, choose the network that you wish to receive your stable coins on. I've been using the BNB chain, so I'm perfectly fine just leaving this on the Binance Smart Chain. But if you're using a different network, make sure your wallet is set to that network, then give this a click and choose the correct network from this drop-down menu. Now we can choose an amount that we wish to transfer from the DEX back into our wallet, and you'll be able to see your available balance right here. So if you want to transfer a custom amount, you could always type it in just like so. But if you want to send your whole balance, just click right here on max. Now down here, you will see that there's a $2 fee to get this done. So in my case, I'd be receiving 49 USDC out of my 51. And Apex is giving you a little notice explaining why that is right here. So feel free to give that a read through. Now you can also adjust the speed of your withdrawal in this box right here. If I hover over top of that, you can see on one lightning bolt, it takes up to 12 hours. And on 3 lightning bolts, it takes up to 8 minutes. Now, so far, I've always just left this on 2 lightning bolts, and it's never taken longer than a minute. So I guess what they're saying here is it can take up to these time frames. So if you don't receive your withdrawal right away, don't panic. As you can see here, it can take up to 8 minutes on the fastest speed and 12 hours on the slowest speed. So 2 lightning bolts works good for me. So I'm just going to come down here and click on confirm withdrawal. Then you'll have the opportunity to confirm your withdrawal. And you can see that withdrawals are irreversible. This looks fine to me, so I'm just going to click here on confirm withdrawal. And now I've sent that USDC off of the DEX back into my MetaMask wallet on the Binance Smart Chain. Now if I come up here to my MetaMask icon, give it a click, you can see that the USDC is already back in my MetaMask wallet, and that took about 30 seconds. But if the networks are congested, it could take longer. And there you have it, your introduction to trading futures on Apex Protocol. If you got some value out of that, don't forget to leave me a like and hit subscribe for future content. Also, feel free to check out some of my other Apex tutorials, which I put together in a playlist on my YouTube channel. Thanks so much for coming by and checking out this video. Looking forward to seeing you in the next one. And until I do, have yourself a powerful day.